All right, finally live. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, then that is totally my bad. Okay, so today's topic I'm going to be going over is closed-minded entrepreneurs. I really rather have called that closed-minded individuals who don't seem to perceive that there are opportunities that are available to them when they simply just close off their mind. I found that there's two types of folks who run into this closed-minded entrepreneur establishment. So the first is the closed-minded person who, when you talk with them, you're literally not getting through to them. They're closed-minded, perhaps they're even argumentative. They will tend to talk back to you, try to talk over you in order to get a point across, in order to deflect what it is that you're saying. These would be entrepreneurs because they're most likely not entrepreneurs. They have an idea in mind, but they're probably not going to go after it. And then there's the second type, which is the ones who are listening for keywords. And these are the type that you say a certain word, and that basically triggers them to have something to say in that regard. And perhaps in that stead, they might actually let you finish the statement which you have, but in reality, they haven't listened to a single word, have not been open-minded to what you have to say and actually question those ideas in order to justify your point, question your point further, or to request more information. They instead are looking for that keyword to elaborate on the keyword based on their own ideas and may have nothing to do with what it is that you're saying. And these folks tend to be really not entrepreneurs. They're talkers. They pretend that somehow someday their idea that they have is going to go somewhere. It's going to become something. It's going to be this grand thing, and they are super stoked. And honestly, what it is they're excited about a certain point, a certain thing that could be because they feel they are the first to come up with it, or it just seems like for whatever reason that it's something that's easy to do and easy to make money at, or you can make money at it real fast, and it really is. It's not really of a value to them. So in that regard, there's two ways that they'll go down this road. And the first way is a very positive mindset, very positive demeanor, speaking very highly of the project they have in mind, or the idea they have in mind, or the service they're going to offer, something or whatever it is that they are speaking highly to, but really not getting down to the meat of what it is and what it's going to take to get there. They're just stating, for the most part, popular key buzzwords that sound good, and they might be so excited that it basically does sound exciting for them, and you hope that they're being sincere about it and they will pursue it. Being in this business for a number of years now and meeting a lot of these would-be entrepreneurs, I know for sure that they are basically full of crap, and they are not going to be pursuing these ventures. They're not going to be doing what it is they say they want to do, because in truth, they really do not value it as deeply. And so if you're that entrepreneur, if you're struggling to decide whether or not you really want to do this venture, ask yourself, how much do you value this opportunity? Is it something that you are willing to put in 100% of your effort, your time, and dedication to create that? And if that is not the case, then it's not the right opportunity for you. And I can go back to my software days, which I'll do quite a bit, and I personally was not 100% invested in the software business. I was not a coder, and I didn't have my own version of like a Steve Wozniak who could code and was just as excited to do the work. So that was not going to happen, and it took effort to realize that point. Now, it was a lot of me doing what I'm saying here that I completely despise, which is a lot of say, a lot of perception without a reality. In my case, I actually did produce a product and did try to sell it, but it was simply a failure overall. Luckily, I have the bakery now, and that's completely opposite the case. Then there's the second side. There's the positive side. The positive side being that they are excited about an idea, want to get it started. In truth, they really don't value it. So they're going to say a lot of real positive things, a lot of buzzwords. They're going to enact, may even do just enough to get by to give the perception that they are starting something. And this could be as simple as being around other folks within a particular industry niche, meeting them, getting to know them, but explaining that they're going to be making XYZ, but they haven't made it yet. And really, they're just doing it to see if they can get some emotional backing, so to speak, to want to do that. And it's almost like they want permission to go and do this new project, and with the understanding that they really don't want to have to put in the amount of effort that is required. So they are saying they like this, but in reality, they don't want to do it at all. So be aware when you're talking with someone, and that's the type of mindset that they have. Just know they're full of crap. Um, the other thing to think about too is ask yourself, are the things that you're saying, does it sound like you're really excited, you really want to get going and make something happen, but in truth, you know deep down you don't value it to the degree at which you want to value, and you probably should consider pivoting to something else that you do value, or otherwise just dropping the subject at the moment and maybe just going on to studying or doing something else that is of interest, but does not require your absolute commitment in order to be a success. So there is the positive. Now let's go over to the negative perspectives. So the negative Nancy's of the same type of individual, the person who is completely closed-minded, and not only are they closed-minded, but they are also very negative in their responses to what potentialities could be. Now, these particular individuals, from my experience, they've all are already in the business. They're already started that venture or that project. They tend to not be full time, and that could be different across the board. They might even be full timers, but you can tell that their personal value for the business is there for the sake of what it is they're producing, but they don't want to have to deal with the other aspects of the business. They are very much closed to wanting to improve upon things. And so when an opportunity is handed to them, or perhaps you speak with this individual about something that can really benefit them, they tend to be shut off. They actually will look for excuses to state to you why they can't do something, and honestly, they're correct. If they don't think it's going to work, it's not going to work. And what are basically forced to do is just end the discussion, move on to something else, because they're just going to be a downer for you. They're basically saying to you that whatever you value also is a zero. So when you're talking with these individuals who are closed-minded and very much in the negative Nancy perspective, just know that there is no chance that they are going to have anything positive to say about what it is they do, other than the fact that they are perhaps making some money, whether enough to get by or actually really making money. They just don't appreciate what it is that they are producing anymore. Now, I haven't really seen that much in the way of regards to closed-minded individuals who have not started a project. If that is the case, my only thought probably is that uh, they they're using some sort of societal issue as a means to why they cannot perform a certain thing, and that could be anything. I'll use one that's obviously trending right now, and probably gonna get some crap for this, but whatever. Is the Black Lives Matter movement. Um, Regardless of your opinion on that movement, is the aspect of utilizing that perspective, the perspective that you, perhaps as an individual of color, you are unable to, or not allowed, or being restrained from being able to initiate the project in which you want to do. And so, therefore, everything is, you can't do it because some outside force is not letting you do it. I, I completely disagree with that. I think that's nonsense. I think that if you are an achiever, or want someone, an individual who wants to achieve what it is that you want, go about and do it. If it means you have to move out of from where you're at, away from folks who are in that mindset, in order to get into an area where it is open to a positive, it will open your positive mindset, then move there. Get away from the negativity. Change your life. Change your outcomes. Open your mind to the opportunities that are there. And unfortunately, there are individuals who simply will not open up their minds to those things and prefer to stay in a negative mindset. And that's really unfortunate, because I mean, there's so many people out there, and there's so much opportunity. Any one of us has the ability to expand our horizons even further than what we even thought we could do. And that doesn't mean that each one of us has to go and become a astrophysicist or something like that. Absolutely not. If you're like me, and my capacity is the ability to see opportunities and then be able to manipulate those opportunities into success, in a manner, produce initiating businesses that do typically do not require a lot of extreme mental process in order to produce the end product, but rather are a little more middle road, physical challenging, but have it might require a lot of additional effort to get return on investment. Something like the bakery, which for me is of high value, is meets me to the challenge that I need, and I can make it go further. Anything that would have been perceived as a restriction, I just simply don't let it get in the way. I mean, I can easily use my hearing impairment as an issue. Oh, I can't hear, so therefore, I'm not going to succeed, and life sucks, and boo-hoo, and, and you should feel sorry for me, and please feel sorry for me, and then maybe I can use that as an excuse to quit baking. Or I'm 5'2", so therefore, I'm too short to be a baker, and therefore I shouldn't be a baker. And let's just end this issue here. Don't you agree with me? Those are not legitimate excuses. That's just those are justifications to evade reality, to try to find a way to down your life, to make life miserable, as opposed to what life should be, which is a pursuit of your happiness as a primary. You want to make your life feel as if it's worth living, and then find ways to make your life worth living even more. And that requires that you have an open mind to do that. Must have an open mind. If you don't have an open mind, you are going to struggle. And by open mind, I mean several things. First one is that you receive, or are able to take in, opinions, ideas, experiences from other individuals, and consider those, and then judge them accordingly, which means judge them as of whether or not that is something that's going to affect you, you can utilize for your own means, something you can grow with, or just simply is complete nonsense and needs to be discarded. That too, being open-minded means being able to see potential opportunities. And this is kind of an interesting one. That means that when you are proactively working on things, that if you see something that could be, or an improvement that can happen, that you pursue it, that you're not restraining yourself from those opportunities, but rather jumping forward and capturing them and implementing them and making them work for you. And it's as surprising and as perhaps as obvious as that might sound, many would-be entrepreneurs are simply closed-minded. They're lazy and do not want to pursue those things, do not want to see the value of a production. They rather get the fast freebie, the free ticket to success through doing little to no work and somehow getting a large return. Now, I can understand that point of view. You do want to pursue profits, and if there is a way to pursue those profits and gain those simply, and it is based on what you value, you should pursue it. But you also could pursue as a more I guess primary would be a good word. I don't really use that primary in that context, but as a main focus is something that's going to keep you a little bit uncomfortable, something that's going to challenge you, something that's going to keep you getting up and wondering if things could happen and should happen. Because by doing that, you discover more of those simpler ways and means to gain a profit, to gain success, and to achieve the happiness in pursuit of which you want. So always be considering what avenues are going to help you, and in doing so, it requires that you're open to accepting and seeing those things. So that is for this week. I really hope you enjoyed that. If you liked what you heard, want more of it, definitely like this video, share with others, and if you're able to get on the next live, definitely do so. Comment in the comments, whether you're live or after the recording. Trying to find a date and time that's actually going to work for the lives. Right now, it's a little after 10 o'clock at night. So maybe it's going to end up being like 9 o'clock on Mondays, something like that. But look forward to chatting with you all more on another topic next week. Until then, again, definitely subscribe to the channel and have a good evening. Take care.